This is Jersey. Jersey, you have like a kind of an etiquette type question for us, right? Is that right?
Hey, Bart.
Yeah. How's it going?
And good. We actually met at Parks one night when you were over there.
Oh, recently?
Yeah, a couple of Fridays ago you were
Oh,
there.
nice.
You were playing
Awesome.
the 10-10, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great game. I was very, very impressed by Parks, I must say. I was very,
Very
very
hard
impressed.
room. Very, very hard room.
Yep, that was great. Yeah, it was like one of the I mean, the number of games kind of only rivaled Commerce, and I was like, wow, there's like 8-2-5 games, 4-10-10s. It was awesome. It was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm a Parks regular, but this hand took place at Rivers in PA. I'm in the hand for 180.
Okay.
Under the gun, I look down at Pocket Kings.
This is a 1-2 game or what?
Yeah, 1-2.
Okay.
1-2. So I
Okay.
look down at the King of Hearts, King of Spades.
Okay.
Under the gun, it's a 1-2 game, so I make it your standard $12 to try to get a caller or two.
Okay.
So it folds around to the hijack. Now, keep in mind, I have no information on anyone there. He three bets pretty quickly to $36.
So the hijack 3 bets to $36. Okay. Okay.
And the button calls the 36,
Okay.
and it gets back to the small blind, and he pauses for a minute like he wants to raise, and then he calls the 36. Now, rather than deal with the 1-2 buffoonery, I said, I'm just going to rip it. So I just rip it in for the rest.
Of course. Well, I was just gonna say, Jersey. I mean, this is the easiest shove that you'd ever have in your life, right?
Yeah, I rip it. The hijack calls very quickly for a little bit less than what I had, like 174, I think he had in his stack. He calls pretty quickly. So I'm worried about him. He's the hand I'm worried about. The button tanks for about 2 minutes and then eventually folds.
Okay.
It gets back to the small blind.
Okay.
He's sitting there tanking, and he gives this speech about, I'm getting odds. I got pot odds. I got a call, and he winds up putting it in for a little bit less, maybe like 120 more he had. So as the pot gets raked in and the dealer's putting together the side pot, I hold my hand up to the hijack, and I show him I got kings. And he just kind of nods his head and like looks down. So I know I got him at that point.
Okay.
So then I table them because I always table my hand. I never muck a hand because I had a kid kind of angle shoot me when I first started playing poker where I almost mucked, and he said, I got a set, and I was ready to muck, and I said, let me see. And he had 7-4 offsuit. So this kid flips over his hand. He got pocket sixes. I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Okay.
The first card I see in the window, the dealer's laying down, is a 6. I'm like, great, here we go.
Okay.
The flop comes 6 of spades, 5 of spades, 3 of spades.
And by the way, so you're all in. It's a three-way all in.
3-way all in, side pot between me and the hijack.
King of spades, 6 of spades, 5 of spades, 3 of spades. Do you have a spade in your hand, by the way?
And I have the king of spades. So
Okay.
I'm like, well,
Okay.
this kid like basically immediately announces, I got a set.
Okay. Now, so what's the rest of the board run out?
2 of diamonds, 4 of hearts.
Okay, so the rest of the board is 2 of diamonds, 4 of hearts. That looks like a straight that's on board there, Mr. Jersey.
Yeah, correct. So I didn't see it right away.
Okay.
And the kid announces, I got a set, and pushes his hand forward. And the hijack that did the initial raising never tables his hand and slides them forward across the line towards the dealer. The dealer immediately grabs them, pulls them into the muck, and starts pushing the side pot to me. He then begins to push the main pot to the other individual, to the button, the small blinder rather. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. That's a chop.
Right. Okay.
So then the dealer catches it, and he's like, oh, you're right. That is a chop.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it goes kind of wonky. So now the hijack goes, well, where's my cards? And the dealer turns to him and says, you mucked him. And he's, obviously he calls the floor. He starts arguing. And the floor makes the ruling. Obviously, well, if you never showed the hand, you never tabled it. He goes, yeah, but I didn't muck them. The dealer pulled them in. The dealer grabbed them. I already knew what the ruling was going to be. I just said, you know what, to the dealer, whatever it is, just do whatever it is. I'm going to the bathroom. I really got to go to the bathroom. I just sat down. Just put whatever stack in front of me. I'm not getting involved in this. And I go to the bathroom. I come back, and obviously it was a 2-way chop between me and the guy that tabled his hand.
Okay.
So my question on that is, was I in any way obligated to chop it with the hijack? Were we anyway obligated to chop it with him for his mistake?
All right. So are you and the small blind, and you also get the side pot here too from the hijack, right? Because you guys had a little bit extra. They pushed the side pot to you, right?
They pushed the side pot to me.
No, you're not obligated. No way. I mean, listen, like I do stuff all the time for people. Well, I would do stuff. I know I always bring this example up, and I think as a professional player or somebody who plays for profit, you can sometimes go easy on the recreational players. Like I always give this example where I saw this kid give this guy like his last call of an all-in of like a huge bet, like of $1,000 bet, because it was pretty obvious that the old guy misread the board. Like he thought he had a straight with like a 6. He confused a 6 and a 9. He couldn't see the board, right? And the kid gave the call. I mean, so the guy called with like 9 high, right? He's obviously not going to call with 9 high. And the kid gave the guy back like his call, his bet, his call on the river of 1,000. I think I would have done the same thing. But this is entirely different. Like if a guy mucks his hand because he can't read the board, you are absolutely not obligated. And I wouldn't do that either. I would not do that. It would not be obligated. I would not feel obligated to give a guy his money back if he mucked his hand, if it wasn't tabled. Now, it's a big difference if it's tabled. If the hand is tabled and for some reason people don't see it, they don't read it until after the fact, like say in between this hand and the next hand, because that's usually where the rule is. Someone's like, wait a minute, the board was a straight, or wait a minute, that guy, he had like a straight too. If it was confirmed, if people saw the hand and it was tabled, then I absolutely would give the guy his money back if the hand is tabled. You usually don't see that in Hold'em that much, but it happens in Omaha 8. I always tell that story about how it happened to me where I should have 3/4'd this guy at Commerce. We didn't realize that I should have 3/4'd him until in between the hands. Then it was always confirmed. Both our hands were tabled. They went to the cameras and they awarded me 3/4 the pot. The guy refused to pay. They kicked him out. I got the money back like 2 weeks later. But no, I mean, absolutely. And then the other thing too, what was your second part of your question about etiquette, about people talking about this at the table too, as
So
well?
the second part of the question was, it was another etiquette question. So after the hand was over and I sat back down, the kid to my left, he goes, "Oh, I saw the straight, but I wasn't saying nothing. I wasn't involved in the hand."
Okay.
I'm like, no, you're supposed to. If the dealer's making a mistake, if the hands were tabled and the dealer makes a mistake, you're supposed to say something. He's like, no, you're not. I'm not involved in the hand. I'm not saying anything.
But what were the hands tabled though?
Well, my hand and the other individual's hand were tabled. So
Right.
but the dealer started pushing the pot to the guy with the set. And that's when I eventually caught it. I'm like, wait a minute. So this kid said that he saw the straight, but he wasn't saying anything. So if I missed it, the dealer was making a mistake. The guy that mucked his hand had pocket tens, but he would have chopped.
So he starts pushing to the guy that had the set, and inevitably you guys are chopping that hand. But the guy with pocket tens never tabled his hand. What I mean by table is he never opened his hand and released it face up on the table. That is what table means. So if that guy tabled his hand, like turned it over, then absolutely the players at the table should say this is a chop. I feel very strongly about this. If somebody tables their hand and the dealer is doing something wrong, then it is your duty, actually. Your duty. I've had some arguments about this because people say in home games it's kind of like it's a different thing. But in a casino, especially in a tournament, it is absolutely your duty as a player to speak up and right what is going wrong. That is only if the hands are tabled. This guy did not table his hand. So
Correct.
It is in poor etiquette for a guy who's obviously not involved in the hand or even is involved in the hand. It would be very, very poor etiquette for a guy to say, oh, there's a straight on board, when one of your opponents was going to muck his hand and then the guy realizes it and doesn't muck his hand. That's very, very poor etiquette from that player. The problem is, and that's happened many, many times, for me, like if I was playing a sort of a low stakes game like 2-5 and some other recreational player did that, just by mistake. Like he said, oh, it's a straight. And then, the guy with tens who would have mucked his hand then grabs it and tables it. What am I going to do? Am I going to get mad at the guy for saying that? He doesn't know any better. You just see what I'm saying? It's poor etiquette, but I mean, I've seen people go off on other guys. Now, they'll take your fucking head off if you do that in a 100, 200, 08 game, which I play at the World Series, because people are misreading their hand all the time, even at that level. People can't find lows. If you were to say, if some idiot is holding his hand up in a $8,000 pot and he's got like a live four, and he's not tabling in his hand, and I say, hey, you have a low. The guy that's going to scoop the pot will literally fucking kill me. You know what I mean? But I mean, at these stakes, what are you going to do? But no, I mean, there's tabled, there's etiquette for not telling somebody to not table their hand. But then once the hand's tabled, that's when it's your duty to say something.
So the third party, his cards were already gone. Like they already scooped them in. And so if his cards were on laying on the table and not face up, and that guy said, "Wait, there's a straight up there," that's poor etiquette. But once his cards are gone and the dealer is shipping the pot to the incorrect person, then it's not in poor etiquette if you speak up and, "Hey dealer, you're making a mistake."
If you and the other guy with the set tabled your hand and then the other guy mucked, okay, and I'm somebody sitting at the table and the dealer starts pushing the pot to the guy with the set of sixes, I'm going to say something. Both your hands are tabled.
Yeah, that was my point of view, and the other guy disagreed with it. He's like, "No, no way, you don't get involved." I'm like, "No, the dealer's making a mistake. You absolutely get involved."
Yep, that's how I feel too. Thank you very much for the call, Jersey. I appreciate it. You didn't do anything
Appreciate it.
wrong. All right.